just waiting. The earth, the air, the fire, the water returns, 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 returns. The earth, the air, the fire, water returns, returns, returns. Aye, 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 oh. Aye, 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 oh. Hi, people. Hi, putting on the glitz, and hi, Pepper Jackie. The earth, the air, the fire, the water returns, 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 returns. The earth, the air, the fire, the water returns, returns. Aye, 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 oh. Hi, Lisa. Welcome. Let me pick up so I can see. Hi, Michelle. So, well, I'm reloading this here. Hold on a second. It's giving me trouble so I can see the chat. I know I'm a little early tonight, but I'm thinking instead of 6:45, we'll do 6:30 from now on. So how's everybody doing tonight? Thank you. Me too. My mom grew those rattles. Ooh. I got to turn the volume down. Oh. Bummer. So, okay, I'll do the week ahead spread like I usually start out with. Yeah, I think we all could. I've been feeling really strange the last couple of days. I don't know what's really going on. But anyway, well, yeah, Freshport Zen. I decided to come on at 6:30. I know I'm early. I'll confuse everybody, but what the hey. So week ahead, what do we got? We got the Prince of Cups. I'm gonna do the major, minor, and everything. So, is that Uranus is heading into Taurus? Oh boy. So we got the Prince of Cups. So we got some emotional movement ahead. That came out weird. So emotional, yes, going forward. Okay, let me see if I can reframe what I was trying to say. We got movement when it comes to our emotional issues. That's what I'm seeing. Okay, so I gotta go through and find, and we got strength. And then we need, so here we got 2 cups for the, we got cosmic shit, it must be. We got 7 of Cups, we got Prince of Cups, and we have strength. So what I am seeing for the week ahead is that we need to be strong because it seems like emotional issues are going to be coming to the forefront this week. Right? So we got to remain strong and stand in our own truth. And remain in our own power. Claim our power. That's the message I've been getting for myself this week is I need to stand in my power and I need to claim it. I need to own it. I need to own who I am from my ancestors. They're like, Heidi, claim who you are. Claim your power because it's very important in the world. And so with emotional issues coming up for this week, we got to be strong. As long as we're strong, then we will move through it rather quickly because to me, the Knight or the Prince, it's all about movement. It's all about that fire energy. So it could get steamy, it could be troubled waters, but as long as we remain strong in our core and central to who we are, we should be able to weather that storm that's ahead. And speaking of storms, we could have very high winds tomorrow. Hopefully they're wrong. I will try to speak to the winds and hopefully they won't be. And we've had a lot of strong winds this winter. It happens sometimes. And so maybe, this is a reflecting pool. in the Seven of Cups too. So maybe since it's going to be forward movement, we might have let go of those past emotions. Oh, the napkin thing. Oh my gosh, Lisa. I wouldn't demand, but I might ask. So, yes, I think that's it in a nutshell. So, a little bit of, yeah, all in intense. I would ask kindly for a napkin because I think I have asked kindly for a napkin. I'm like, excuse me, do you have a napkin I could borrow? Like, I really want to borrow it and give it back, but not. Anyway, since my hair is really fried from having it, what do you call that stuff when you have your hair dyed? Oh, yes, fried from having it bleached, right? I decided to try Amber's recipe, and you're welcome. And I'll come back to some more too. Hopefully you can stay a little bit. So I made her recipe, and the first time I made it, it was with nettles, and I'm like, uh-oh, if I make it with nettles, I just had my hair bleached. That means I could end up with green hair because nettles can work as a dye. And I'm like, I don't want green hair. So I have to set that bottle aside. It would be good for somebody with dark hair because I haven't used nettles on my hair before. So I made it this time with chamomile because chamomile is kind of yellowish in color. So since I have blonde in my hair, I want the blonde highlight. So yeah, to side, yeah, it is. You can see it right here. It really did get fried this time. So yeah, that's true. Green hair might be fun. I might try it later, but I think it's going to work really good. I mean, this was just the first time I used it. It has, so I had the chamomile, slippery elm, apple cider vinegar, which I've used on my hair before, and some clay. And you can use that instead of shampoo, but I shampooed first because I had a lot of oil in my hair because I put a lot of oil in it to try to get it to calm down. So I think it's going to work really well. I'm going to do that from now on. And it didn't turn green, although it might look a little green in this highlight, but it didn't. So now I have a bunch of nettles made up with the same thing. So that's... Oh, Chrissy, I bet you guys always look good, Miss Cheeky. So what I kind of wanted to do tonight is, well, hopefully it depends on the weather because we could have snow. If we have snow, I won't be able to go. But I'm coming up on doing Psychic Fair next week. So I was thinking, so how many are there in here now? About 4 of you? Or 5 of you, is doing one full-size reading. And the way I would do that is pick a number from 1 to 10. Oh, wait a minute. This says 5 people. It would be 1 to 5. And whoever comes up with that number, and I'm going to write it down, and I'll fold up the piece of paper, and then whoever guesses that number will get the full reading. And that way it will give me... that will give me a chance, just give me a chance to practice because I haven't done a full spread in a long time. So this is like kind of a one-time offer here. So I'm going to think of a number between 1 and 5. Here's my piece of paper, and I'm going to write it down, but you can't see what I'm writing down. Alrighty. So I wrote it down. So pick a number. Nope, not 4. So we can narrow it down. Not 3. Yep, putting on the glitch. You got it. It's 2. Right there. Although it's backwards. So it's backwards. Aha. So That means we'll go with, and I'll do other readings. I'll do a few readings too for you guys. Ah, crap. Oh, well. You know how to find me. All right. So if you have a question, and I might reframe it too if we need to, so that you get a chance to think of a question. And I'll go and I'll tell you guys in detail how I go into the spread. So it will be kind of like for the rest of you, although Dead Cheeky knows my spread anyway, but for the rest of you, you'll learn how I'll do a full reading. So I think that will be pretty cool. Oh. Oh, well, I'm giving a moment to see if putting on the Ritz. How about I just call Ritz? I'll just call you Ritz for now. Oop. See if you have questions. So do you have a question or you general reading? Frame something for you? Are you Miss Ritz or Mr. Ritz? I have a feeling you're Mrs. Ritz or Ms. Ritz. Shay? Oh, I like that. So do you have a question? Hello, down the rabbit hole. Boy, you guys got some names out there. I'm like, oh my gosh. I thought so. Okay, so I'm going to do a general reading then for you, and the question, and it's going to be, Shay, what do you need to know today? Or about your art business? Okay, what do you need to know about your art business? You're welcome. And after that, after I do this one, I'll do 3 more readings since I'm doing this big one. Okay? Alrighty. Art business. What does she need to know about her art business? That was almost like the whole deck. We don't want to play, I can tell you about being stuck. Oh my God. I think I have I'll tell you guys about it later. Okay, so I'm going to start 1, 2. So what I do, and I don't know if I can show, I might be able to show it. 1, 2. Wait a minute. 1, 2, 2. Okay, over there, 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 there. I lay out 7 cards in a circle. So we start with 1 in the center. Yeah, that would be a reading. There are people that do that, though, especially with Lenormand. So we start with this center card, and you guys... Oh my, I laugh because every time, guys, if you've been to my lives before, it's like there's always the same cards keep showing up, even though you see that I'm shuffling and shuffling. I mean, I shuffle these guys for quite a while. So in the center, we got the Prince of Cups. And like I said before, the Prince is about movement. You know, to me, the Prince or the Knights are the fire energy. So they're about movement. I mean, they're on a horse. I mean, a horse, they can move, right? And he's got a cup and he's holding it up too, like, kind of like he's balancing it. So right now, Shay, it's like you are in the midst of balancing your emotional energy. So whatever goes on for you, you're trying to keep it in balance because things are kind of moving around you. You know that your art has a very strong emotional component. So now I go in, so this is the center of the wheel. So now I'm being indicated to go to the south. And normally I go to the east first, but it said go south. So we're going to do the south card. We got strength. I shuffled these. I can't rifle shuffle these. They're too big. So we got strength again. And strength is in the south. So the south is fire. And it's also trust. It's also innocence. It's a childlike wonder. You can think of south, and what I'm trying to draw on now is going back to a sacred wheel that I first learned about, and how there are different types of correspondences. And it's also the place of spirit or creative energy. And for you, we're talking about creative energy. And so we got all this going on around you, and I'm going to go through each card. And then I'm going to go back and I'll go through the whole thing. So we got this in the south. And so that means you need to stand strong. Like we said, stand strong in who you are. Bring some, and I'm also getting a message, because I do get messages, to think of some type of joy in your childhood that really sparked information, sparked your creativity, something in your childhood that gave you really a lot of joy, and it really sparked that creative juices. It really got that flowing. That's where you can find your strength. That's where you can stand in your power, is by remembering that really sweet, juicy, delicious place in your childhood where you were so creative you couldn't stop. So now we're going to go on to the next card, and that is Princess of Wands, and she's in the west. And the west is water. It's the water or the emotions. It's also considered the dream time, or a place where you can go into introspection. So this makes perfect sense for going there with the Princess of Wands. So she's equal to the page. So she is, again, we have the theme of the page of innocence and youth, and going into the emotions and bringing that to the surface. So it's going to be interesting when I get all the cards turned over, because I'm really, really feeling that the biggest message is finding that creativity and bringing that creativity into the presence. Let's see what we have on the north side. If I can reach a card. Here we go. We got, oh, and interesting, because the north side is the King of Pentacles. And the north is about earth. And it can also be about rest, because the earth is also considered the winter time or the mature time. So we can think about when you go around the world, around the sacred circle, that you start in the south is like your innocence, and then you grow into adulthood, and then you come more mature as you circle around the sacred wheel. So we got the King of Pentacles, and the King of Pentacles to me is all about standing in the center of your truth, standing in, being rooted in what you do, okay? So this is the physical level, being rooted in what you create. So having a good, solid foundation. But I will be getting to others in a minute. When I started, I said I was going to do one big reading for one person, and we drew numbers with the people that was here. And so after I finish this, I will do 3 readings, okay? So you want to be really grounded in what you do. And it's interesting, in this King of Pentacles, we got fire in the background, and we also got a sky that looks like it's kind of stormy. So this is telling me that you to learn to be really having a solid foundation, to really take control on a physical level of your creativity and emotions. Because when we create, emotions are definitely involved. I'm very creative. If you have checked out my website, you know I'm all about creativity. But we have to be practical about that too. We have to bring that down to earth, so to speak, so that we can bring it out into the world. And even Pentacles is about making money too. Why shouldn't we make money on what we love to do, what our passions are about our artwork? That's so important. So we need to take the practical approach too of that, so that not only we're sharing it, but we're getting something back from sharing it. And that's, we're getting the exchange for that. Okay, 3 more cards, and then the whole reading. And I don't know how this happened, but I did shuffle. We got 7 of Cups in the East. And the East is air, it's breath, it's speaking. How do we say? What are we saying about it? So you asked about your art business. So what are we speaking to the world? It looks like you're kind of lost in too much thought, even though this is an emotional card. It's in the East. It's in the air. So it's not like you want to speak up about it. You want to bring it out into the world. And so don't get caught in all the emotion about it. Be proud of it. Speak up about it. It's really important. You don't, air and water don't really make too much, do they? So too much emotion, get out of the emotional side. Get into the head a little bit more. And that's why we ended on East, so that you can get into bring that breath and out. So then I do as below. As above, so below. So below is like, what is the root of the message? And we got the sun. And I think this is perfect. We have a creepy baby on a horse. Somewhat creepy. Yeah, really creepy. Looks like me as a child. So this tells me you have a lot of artwork that needs to be shown to the world. You need to let it shine. You need to start doing our website. I don't know if you are, but do a website. You got a YouTube channel. Use it. Show us your artwork. I want to see it. I think the world wants to see it. That's a good message. And then we have on the top is message from spirit. And it's interesting. We got a lot of women in this deck. And this is Princess of Swords. And, you know, if as above, so below, she's putting her sword down on the sun. And the swords are all about breath. They're all about speaking. So speaking your truth in an innocent way. There's a lot of innocence here that I think that we need to be reminded about our childhood. So, yeah, put this out. Share your artwork. Don't get lag behind. You know, just, yes. So about your art businesses, the answer is yes. Get out there and do it. Get out there and start with it. Start sharing it. Start speaking about it. Start showing it. You have a YouTube channel. Use it. Show off your art. You know, don't be afraid to. Don't hold back. Don't get lost in the emotions. You know, don't get left behind, you know. Get out. It's taken me a long time to get my website out there, but do it. You know, it's the only thing you can do is, yeah, Facebook works too. I'm frustrated with Facebook myself now, but it does work. It's important. It's important. Any social media is important to get your message out there. And I'm getting the feeling from looking at these cards that you have a lot to share that will bring a lot of trust and innocence back into our lives by sharing our art. And I can't wait to see it. I hope we get to see it really soon. And thank you so much, Front Porch Paranormal, for holding down the fort while I was going through that. Yes, definitely. Instagram. That's all about photographs anyway. That's all about pictures. You know, put your artwork out, you know. Put a logo on it though. Put a logo on it so that nobody else can really take it and your logo will be on it. I got to do that. That's something I need to do myself, is to put my logo on all my pictures, you know, so that you're welcome. So now you guys see, that's how I do a big reading. And I probably would go into a little bit more detail if we were one-on-one. So yes, a watermark. That's it. Definitely, yes. Sometimes I wish I had done that myself. So, alrighty. So who's up? Who's on first? Who's on second and third? Because I'm going to do 3 because that was a lot to do, and I'm going to have to work on stuff for my throat. I might make so. So Pepper Jack, you probably were first, right? Okay. You're welcome, Shay. You're very welcome. Okay. So, will you get out of it? I should hope so. Pepper Jackie, I have a week there. Is there any way to get a reading? I can do a quick reading for you, and I have put my website below. A link to my website where you can find all kinds of information for me. And you can even, and I set up a button for a donation, just a small donation for the readings that I do on Sundays if you feel so inclined. Okay, so yep. So let's do Bebe first, because my wrench, Ms. Cheeky, has been keeping track, and I am shuffling. I'm shuffling, guys, see? I don't know how those 3 cards came up in that reading, except they were supposed to. You know, that they were definitely supposed to. Or they wouldn't have shown up. But it's so funny how they do. And I sit in and shuffle, because this is the only way I can shuffle that. So, BB, if you've got the question, can you put it in again, please? And I'll get you last, Pepper Jackie. And luckily, for some reason, it's working now that I can post it and not have to go vertical. So wait for Bebe's question again, please. I know it takes time. Yeah, see, because I do this a lot. One thing, my face is dry. I got to lather that up with some ointment tonight. You're welcome. Pepper Jack cheese. Is Bebe still here? I love any cheese. Feta's good too. Did we lose Bebe? Probably. Because I probably confused everybody that came in at the regular time because I went early. But that's kind of why I went early. Okay, who? Okay. So Alice, are you okay? So Alice, down the rabbit hole. If you're there, I will do you next. Oh, it's friends. What? Oh, okay, I got it now. Question is guide me in the decision I need to make in my relationship with my, okay, so what is the guidance from your higher self? That's the way I've got to ask it. I think that will work. From your higher self. Alrighty. I got it. Okay. Okay. So we got two very interesting cards here. And some I really this Okay, Pepper Jackie. I'm trying to see if I'm getting a message because these kind of throwing me a little bit, but not throwing me, just kind of like, because I want to be careful how I move forward. So I'm getting a feeling that this is a message from your higher self of how to move forward. So there's some defensive here. Perhaps you've been wounded in this relationship, so that not at times there's not a lot of comfort in it, but that doesn't mean there hasn't been. So there feels like there's been a lot of wounding here, and it's leaving Elsa, is it Elsa? Elsie, to feel really guarded and defensive. And then we got the Lord. And the Lord is, the equivalent to the emperor, the high priest. No, not the high priest, the Lord, the emperor. One who is quite strong, quite demanding. He's a ruler. He's a supreme ruler. And so how are you going to use this? So I'm getting this is why I'm getting the message that this may not be the best relationship, because I'm not feeling comfort here. I'm not feeling that this is comfortable at all. This relationship has been around a while, but there's something very disturbing here, something very uncomfortable. So I'm getting the feeling that it might be time to move on. I can't personally tell you if that's what you need to do, but I'm really feeling a lot of discomfort. And you've had to stand your ground in this relationship, is what I'm feeling. So it really may be time to move forward and to move on. Because when we're in a relationship, we don't want it to be uncomfortable. Yes, life, we do have uncomfortable moments. I mean, we fight. That's normal, I think. In this day and age, the relationship is not perfect. But we don't always want to feel uncomfortable. We don't want to have to feel like we have to have our guard up all the time. We don't want to have to feel like we have to stand our ground the whole time, right? We want to have that security. And really, the only place that we can find that is within ourselves. And I really feel like this relationship is not giving that sense of security and trust that it needs. It seems like the theme tonight is trust. You know, sometimes themes run through the readings. And so if you can't find the trust within this relationship or the comfort, then it's probably time to really re-examine and see if it's time to move on. That's all I can really say right now. Is it really feels like it's time to go in a new direction, to seek comfort in a relationship. Okay, I hope that helps. Yeah. I feel a lot of sadness around that relationship also. Oops. Okay. Yeah, I hope that helps, you know, but, you know, only the person experiencing that relationship can make that decision. What tarot can do is to give you confirmation of what you might have been expecting or feeling yourself. That's what it can help with. Okay, so that's Pepper Jackie. You're next, and I'm shuffling. Just in case I have the same cards more. Oh boy, question. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. But those things happen. Your brother I'm tapping it. I'm getting a message even before I'm. He's really, really, really sad. He's so sad that he wishes you can apologize to you, but he doesn't know how because now he's on the other side. But he feels very strongly. He's sorry he's let you down. He didn't mean for this to happen in this way, that it did. And he realizes it now. Now that it's kind of too late. Let me draw a couple cards. It's just sometimes I get messages. So, and it came in really strongly. A lot of emotion from him for you. I would say that, yeah, that he does love you very much. And the cards I drew were the Princess of Pentacles. So I don't know if he was older, but he looks at you like his little sister. And he's like this red blanket wrapping around you right now. But he's got to take some time. And yeah, he's got to take some time to process what he's been through. Even on the other side, sometimes people need to go through healing, especially when it's been a traumatic life. They need to go through a healing process there too. And he needs to do that right now. But, you know, time is really an illusion in the sense when you cross over. So that's what the Four of Swords is about. You know, Four of Swords is about stability and balance. But this is someone in a lot of contemplation right now because that's where he needs to be. and it looks really dark and barren. And that's kind of where he is right now, because he needs to be there. He needs to contemplate this life that he kind of threw away. But he wants to know you to know that he will be your blanket. He knows that once he goes through the healing process, he will be there for you and you will be able to speak to him. Remember that. Remember that you can always speak to people that have crossed over. They hear you. They hear you. So don't be afraid to speak to him, Pepper Jackie. And you might even hear his voice in your head at some point within the next couple of months, I'm hearing, if you haven't already. He will speak to you. He will be there for you. Right now, he needs to take time for himself to heal from what he's just been through, because he is kind of shocked he's on the other side. But there's a lot of love for you. I hope that helps, my dear. But when people pass, it's never the end. We're spirit. Yep. Definitely front porch. Dreams. I went through a lot of dreams after my father passed with my father. And yeah. He'll be in touch. He's going to be in touch with you. May not be exactly right away, but he will be in touch with you when he can. He's got to go through that healing process. Was there somebody else that wanted a reading since BB left the building? Interesting. Interesting. You're very welcome. Good idea. I will do that. So I'm going to go out with doing a reading for BB and see if there is a message, what BB might need to know if she comes back and watches this. One more shuffle. Oh, that one's coming out. Oh, we got a pair. We got the pair. We got the magician and we got the high priestess and the magician. Wow, BB, I think if you come back and I hope you come back and listen to this, but this means magic is afoot. So even though you're not here, I'm getting the message that it's time to put some magic into practice. That maybe you've been holding back from delving into magic. But now's the time. It's perfect time for you to get into magic. Magic is wonderful. And magic is not necessarily practicing Wicca or some type of structured religion or paganism. Magic can be writing in a journal, it can be meditating, it can be yoga, it can be all kinds of things, whatever that means to you, you know, because like I don't really identify myself with any specific practice. I've tried, but it just doesn't work for me. Because I feel like I'm beyond that. Strength. The cards are the Strength, Seven of Cups, and Prince of Cups. And so that's just a good note for you. Delve into magic, whatever it holds for you. So I'll close with that, because I've been on for 45 minutes and I got some things I want to get accomplished before the night is over. So I want to thank you all so much for stopping by. I have a small group, but that's great. I love it. Next week, probably, I'm going to think I'm going to do 6:30 now, if that's all works for everybody. And so that way I can be on a little bit longer. And, yeah. And I'll close out with my rattle, because that feels right. What was the one I was, did into me? Trying to think of, because you can do a little sniffness. Thank you. Don't forget to check out my website. Earth my body, water my blood, air my breath, and fire my spirit. Earth my body, water my blood, air my breath, and